thank you very much for being on time. If not early, I think some of you came in early. And just a very quick overview, what we're going to have in today's lesson is I want to go through some parts of chapter 6 with you. So for the first time ever, saya actually upload material awal. Wow. So if you go on YouTube, and I posted the link to the playlist in the Telegram as well. The videos for 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, and 6.4 are already online. 6.5 nanti perlahan sikit. Dalam minggu ni, kita akan belajar 6.1 sampai 6.4. The stuff about non-C3 plants, we'll do that next week. This week, we'll be focusing more on the concept of photosynthesis, the overview, talking about photosynthetic pigments and what are photosystems, and focusing on the light-dependent reactions and light-independent reactions. In today's class, I want to very, very quickly go through the definition and the equation of photosynthesis. Nanti saya minta kamu tulis equation dengan definition. And also, we are going to look at electron flow in cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. On Friday, we will have another Google Meet. Friday's Google Meet, we will talk about the Kelvin cycle. Today, we just talk about the light stuff. Okay, so far so good? Okay, boleh ikut? Good morning, Blaine. Oh, feeling tired. Okay, I hope you guys are feeling penat, ada yang penat, baru travel mungkin, ataupun it's been a terrible week. Lim asked in the chat, Miss, I heard the news that we may have physical class starting from 21st. Yes. Very high chance we will have hybrid classes starting next week. Hybrid means tidak semua kelas, tidak semua slot wajib untuk dilaksanakan secara bersemuka, tapi bergantung kepada pensyarah, ada kelas yang akan online, ada kelas yang akan physical. So for me, we have to double check for the schedule nanti. For lecture next week, I will most likely still do it online, which is I give you video and you do it in your own time. Sebab biasanya minggu pertama lecture hall laju diorang booking. So I cannot guarantee that I will get a slot. But we will try to do at least one tutorial face-to-face, and we will try to have the lab face-to-face. Pengumuman pasal face-to-face class, nanti saya akan maklumkan dalam group, and hopefully I will have better details for you by Friday's Google Meet. Thank you for the question. Okay. Right. So let us go into the lesson itself. Very, very quickly, I would like somebody to give me the definition of photosynthesis. Tidak tulis pun tidak apa, cakap. How can you define photosynthesis? What is that? What is that? Anybody know what photosynthesis is? Anyone? Okay, I have an answer from Nadi in the chat. Photosynthesis, as Nadi says in the chat, is light energy converted to chemical energy, which is stored in glucose. Okay, yes, that is correct. So you take energy from light energy, turn it to chemical energy, put it into glucose. Can somebody go on the Jamboard and write the equation for photosynthesis? I can start off, we use the simpler equation, so we can start off with 6CO2. Can somebody complete that equation? You can type, you can write. Saya tunggu ada orang lengkapkan equation untuk fotosintesis di sini. Sambil saya tunggu orang tulis, sambil saya merepek di depan. Photosynthesis, as you know, it's a process that you learn about since school. I think even primary school, you touch on photosynthesis a little bit. And then in middle school, most likely you learn in better detail about what happens in photosynthesis. I don't remember if you had to learn about cyclic or non-cyclic photophosphorylation in middle school. I don't have any memory of that in middle school. But then again, I don't have any memory of a lot of things. So, bagi yang pernah belajar, very good. Bagi yang lupa-lupa ataupun langsung tidak tahu, this is a very good chance for us to learn. Okay, I think that is Lim answering the questions. Very good. Okay, very nice. Okay, so this is the simpler version of the equation of photosynthesis. Very good. Thank you very much. So we start with 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and 6 molecules of water. And that will produce a molecule of glucose and 6 molecules of oxygen. Let's not forget, over here, you also should include light energy and chlorophyll. Di dia atas dan bawah dia punya arrow. Very good, very good. And I said this is the simpler equation. The more complicated equation will also include how many ATP, how many NADPH is used, and how many molecules of water, how many molecules of ADP, phosphate, and NADP plus is produced. So, kalau kamu mau, kamu boleh juga tambah di bawah sana. If you want lah, this is the complicated stuff. Plus 18 ATP plus 12 NADPH becomes one molecule one molecule glucose, 6 molecules of oxygen, 6 molecules of kalau water don't. Yes, you can write down the definition there. Plus 18 ADP plus 18 phosphate group plus 12 NADP plus. Kalau kita guna equation yang panjang itu, dia kasih banyak molekul air sebab dia mau kasih balance bilangan hydrogen dengan oxygen. Okay, so if you're going with the long equation, you will see that it is a little bit different with the number of molecules. That is only so that they can balance the chemical equation. Tapi kalau kamu tidak mau ingat yang panjang itu, yang penting kamu ingat yang ini, yang ringkas, yang Lim and the gang buat tadi. Okay, you can ignore the blue part. Okay, so far not much for us to talk about in photosynthesis. I do have a simpler question for you. Photosynthesis, we can divide into several stages ataupun phases. We can divide it into 2 phases actually. So can you tell me what are the 2 phases in photosynthesis? Photosynthesis ada 2 fasa. 2 fasa itu digelar sebagai? I really hope that my questions are being clear. Soalan tadi adalah photosynthesis boleh dibahagi kepada 2 fasa, 2 phases or 2 stages. What are the two stages of photosynthesis? All right, so we have some answers in the chat. Eva answers 1 light dependent reaction, 2 light independent reaction. Nadi also gave the same response, light independent reaction and light dependent reaction. Correct. So those are the two phases. Dia bukan satu kali gus carbon dioxide zoom jadi glucose, dia akan melalui dua fasa. So that is light dependent reaction and light independent reaction. I think the spelling of dependent might be slightly different, but I'm going with the spelling of D-E-P-E-N-D-E-N-T. Okay, so far boleh? Boleh ikut? Okay, I think that means you're okay. Very quick question. Another quick question. Where does light-dependent reaction occur? And where does light-independent reaction occur? Very good. Okay, light-dependent. Yes, lovely. Perfect. So light-dependent reaction is in the thylakoid membrane. And light-independent is in the stroma. So both of these occur inside of the chloroplast organelle. Very good, very good. And this apa-apa organism yang ada chloroplast, dia boleh buat photosynthesis inilah. So tidak kira dia adalah plant ka, dia adalah cyanobacteria ka, or any other random alien organism that you find. Okay. I mentioned in the previous chapter when I teach you about cellular respiration, I had this slide, right? And then dalam chapter sebelum ni saya cakap oxidative phosphorylation dengan substrate level phosphorylation adalah dalam chapter 5 untuk cellular respiration. Cellular respiration. And I said this one, this purple one, is for chapter 6, which is what we are doing now. So when we learn about photosynthesis specifically in the light-dependent reaction part of photosynthesis, we will be learning about photophosphorylation. It occurs in any chlorophyll-containing organism. And it is going to produce ATP. It is a type of ATP production, as it says in this title here. So, fasa pertama dalam photosynthesis adalah untuk menjana ATP melalui proses photophosphorylation. Nanti sila tengok video dan baca lecture note. Dalam the full lecture tu, saya akan cerita pasal apa itu photoactivation, apa itu photosystem, dan macam mana kita boleh gunakan cahaya untuk photoactivate photosystems, and then later, step by step, we learn how an activated photosystem can generate ATP. So far, boleh ikut?
Boleh, Miss.
Okay, boleh. All right, okay. Then that's good. Okay, what do I need to tell you next? What do I need to tell you next? Okay. Where does it occur? All right, all right. Do you have any problems regarding photo activation, photosystem dan sebagainya? Okay, looks like you don't have question. So I ask you another simple question. Very quick review. What are the two types of photosystems?
Photosynthesis and chemosynthesis.
No, not quite. two types of photosystems. There is photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. Describe the two photosystems to me. Okay, tadi saya sudah bagi jawapan dia. Dia ada dua jenis photosystem. Satu adalah PS1, satu adalah PS2. Photosystem 1 and photosystem 2. In any photosystem, there will be a few components in there. Can you name some of the components? Kalau kita cakap photosystem ni ada banyak benda di dalam, apa yang ada dalam photosystem? Something that starts with an R maybe? Or something that starts with an A? Or an E? I'm just gonna draw the shapes. I'm waiting for you to answer the question earlier. What can you find in photosystem? And what can you describe about photosystem 1 and photosystem 2? Okay, so Alicia answers in the chat. PS1 will have chlorophyll A, P700, and PS2 will have chlorophyll A, P680. Alicia, your answer is correct. That is describing something that is different between the two photosystems. So apa yang dia tulis di sana, chlorophyll A P700, itu adalah nama untuk reaction center. So this is the reaction center of photosystems. You have to, I don't think you have to memorize, but you should try to understand and remember the structure of photosystem. Dalam dia ada reaction center. Ini adalah chlorophyll A yang P700, meaning it will absorb light of wavelength wavelength 700 nanometers. And then PS2 will absorb light of wavelength P680. So ini adalah dia punya reaction center. Dalam structure photosystem, selain daripada reaction center, dia juga akan ada primary electron acceptor. Dan di sekeliling dia akan ada banyak benda yang merupakan antenna pigments. So remember what we learned about antenna pigments, types of pigments before when I was teaching you about the lab experiment. Chlorophyll B, xanthophyll, phaeophytin, itu adalah antenna pigment yang ada dalam kita punya photosystem. So when light comes in the form of photon, bila photon sampai, dia akan sampai kepada antenna pigment. Antenna pigment akan pas tenaga cahaya tersebut sampailah dia sampai kepada reaction center. Same thing will happen in PS1, same thing happens in PS2. Bila kita belajar pasal non-cyclic photophosphorylation, kita akan tengok PS2 yang duluan buat kerja, PS1 adalah photosystem yang belakang. Okay, he's not the first one to do work. The first one to do work is photosystem 2. The reason, walaupun dalam non-cyclic photophosphorylation, kenapa PS2 duluan buat kerja tapi nama dia 2, kenapa nama dia 2 walaupun dia duluan buat kerja? It's because when scientists were researching about chlorophyll and chloroplast and how does photosynthesis occur, they discover this one first. Masa dia orang buat kajian, yang pertama scientists jumpa adalah PS1. Itulah nama dia diberi photosystem. Makin diorang kaji, you know, eventually they found out, oh, there's more than one type of photosystem, so they name it Photosystem 2. And this old one, they name it Photosystem 1. Lepas tu makin diorang kaji lagi, baru diorang tahu urutan sebenar siapa yang duluan buat kerja. But the name is still Photosystem 1 for P700 and Photosystem 2 for P680. Okay, I hope I didn't confuse you too much. Okay. Ada soalan setakat ni? Maybe some of you have already gone through the notes and the videos and some of you haven't, so that's okay. No problem, that might be why you're a little bit confused. Okay, I'm just gonna move on and talk about the next part. So bila kita cakap pasal light-dependent reaction, itu adalah proses untuk menjana ATP. Dia lebih kurang apa yang kita pernah cakap sebelum ni. Dia akan melibatkan protein yang digelar ATP synthase. To use ATP synthase, we must first create a proton motif gradient. We must make sure that there is enough hydrogen ions or protons on this side of the membrane. For us to put a lot of proton on this side of the membrane, we use electron. And to use the electron, we use photosystems and we use light. Let's have a look at the electron flow in non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So di sini saya ada satu sticker. I have a sticker here, as you can see in my screen, this blue sticker thing. This is going to represent electron. Light-dependent reaction, kadang-kadang dia akan gunakan cara non-cyclic photophosphorylation, kadang-kadang dia akan gunakan cara cyclic photophosphorylation. So kita tengok yang non-cyclic dulu. Saya tidak akan explain ayat demi ayat, sebab ayat demi ayat saya sudah buat dalam lecture note, saya sudah buat dalam video. Dalam sesi ini sekarang saya mau tunjukkan pergerakan elektron saja. First, what happens first? Light energy comes in the form of photon. Energy pass until it reaches the reaction center of photosystem 2. Reaction center of photosystem 2 is chlorophyll A, P680. So bila P680 dapat tenaga, dia punya elektron akan excited. Ooh, this is so excited. It's so much energy. It's going to go to primary electron acceptor. So when it goes to the primary electron acceptor will pass the electron to the electron transport chain. Electron transport chain kita adalah PQ, cytochrome complex, dengan PC. Plastoquinone, cytochrome complex, and plastocyanin. So I'm just showing you the electron flow. Daripada ini, primary electron acceptor, dia akan passing, dan passing, dan passing, dan passing. This P680 is now sad. It's sad because it lost electron. It has electron deficiency. So it needs to replace the electron that it lost. Tadi dia hilang elektron, so dia mau ganti elektron yang dia kehilangan itu. Dari mana kita mau dapatkan pengganti elektron untuk photosystem 1? Kita perlu ambil daripada molekul air. So we have water molecules down here. What we're going to do is we're going to take one water molecule, we're going to break the water molecule. And then from the broken water molecule, we take out electron and we put it back in the photosystem. Saki-baki daripada air yang kita pecahkan tadi, oxygen dengan hydrogen ion, kita buang balik dalam thylakoid membrane. So now your reaction center of photosystem 2 is very happy because it has enough electron now. So the electrons stay there until next time we need to use it. And then kita balik kepada elektron pertama yang kita passing tadi. Tadi elektron ini daripada photosystem 2 dia kena bawa melalui electron transport chain dan sampai kepada reaction center of photosystem 1. When it reaches the reaction center of photosystem 1, dia duduk sementara sahaja. Dia tidak akan lama-lama sebab photosystem 1 pun terima cahaya matahari. Photosystem 1 is also receiving energy in the form of photon. So energy pass, and goes to reaction center of photosystem 1. So that means your electron is going to be excited again, full of energy again, and it's going to get passed to the reaction, the primary electron acceptor of photosystem 1. Di sini pun sementara saja, selepas itu dia akan dibawa kepada electron transport chain yang kedua. Electron transport chain yang kedua akan terdiri daripada ferredoxin, some other stuff that we don't care about, and NADP plus reductase. Sini akan ada satu enzim yang bergelar NADP plus reductase. So the electron go through ferredoxin. Ferredoxin is going to use it to pump protons into the thylakoid membrane, and then this will go to the enzyme. The enzyme will take electron, put it into NADP plus, and now it sits with the NADPH. So kita boleh tengok elektron bermula daripada sini, dibawa sampailah dia sampai kepada final electron acceptor, which is NADPH. Do you have any questions about electron flow in non-cyclic photophosphorylation so far? Okay, right. So I need a volunteer now, just for you to like refresh what happens. I need a volunteer to move the electron for me. If you can open your mic and cerita sambil kamu kasih gerak itu elektron punya stiker, sangat bagus. If not, just move the sticker and I will tell you if you're moving the sticker in the right direction. Does that instruction sound clear? I just want you to move the sticker for me. Anybody volunteer or shall I pick someone? Who's here? Rahma, are you able to move the electron? Okay. Rahma, if you're able to move the electron, can you please take the sticker and kasih goyang-goyang begitu? If you're not able to kasih goyang-goyang, then either you're not. Okay, all right, you're able to do it. Okay, good. Okay, right. So Rahma, I'm gonna stop using this Zoom button. Rahma, I'm gonna put this sticker back here at the water molecule. Now I want you to start moving the electron from photosystem 2. Don't be nervous. Saya akan cerita. Sambil saya cerita, sambil kamu kasih gerak itu stiker. Kamu gerakkan stiker elektron itu saja. So ada 2 stiker di sini, nanti terpulang kepada kamu macam mana menggunakan. Okay? So the story begin once again. I tell the story once again of non-cyclic photophosphorylation. We start with light energy in the form of photon come to the antenna pigment pass the energy until it reaches the reaction center. So now the reaction center is photoactivated and it has lots of energy. The electron is gonna be excited. So Rahma, when the electron in the reaction center is very excited, where does it go? It's gonna go to the primary electron acceptor. Just follow the arrow. No, not yet. Step by step. Dari sini, dari photosystem 2 punya reaction center, dia akan pergi kepada primary electron acceptor. Yes, correct. Very good. Okay, so let that sit there for a bit. Now the reaction center of photosystem 2 is sad dalam essay jangan ada tulis sedih ya, tapi ini saya cerita kepada kamu. Okay, sekarang reaction center of photosystem 2 is very sad because no electron. It wants some drama, it wants some negativity in its life. So it wants to look for new electron. Where the new electron come from? New electron will come from water molecule. So sekarang kita pecahkan water molecule in a process called photolysis, and Rahma will take the electron from the water molecule and put it in the reaction center. Yes, good job. Okay, let that stay there. Okay, and now we go back to the first electron tadi, yang daripada primary electron acceptor. And we are going to take it step by step through the electron transport chain. Bawa dia melalui ETC. Very good. So dia lalu PQ, lepas tu dia lalu cytochrome complex, very good. And then lepas tu dia lalu PC. Selepas dia lalu PC, dia akan sampai kepada reaction center of photosystem 1. Very good. Okay, so now photosystem 1 also receive energy, blah, blah, blah. Very good. Dia akan bawa excited electron to primary electron acceptor of photosystem 1. After that, primary electron acceptor of photosystem 1 will pass the electron to the next electron transport chain, which consists of ferredoxin, FD. Yes, very good. Very good. Okay, and then this electron transport chain, ferredoxin and other stuff, they will do their own thing. Last, it will go to this enzyme called NADP plus reductase. Bila dia sampai kepada enzyme NADP plus reductase akan gabungkan elektron tersebut dengan benda-benda di atas ni dan akhirnya menjadi NADPH. So, bawa elektron kepada NADPH. Almost. NADPH. Yang sebelah kanan. Yes, okay, very good. All right. Okay, so that should show you the movement of electron in non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So bila kamu tengok balik nota nanti dan bila kamu buat exercise or whatever, you're going to see the words final electron acceptor. Siapakah ahli terakhir yang menerima elektron? This guy, NADPH. Siapakah first electron donor? You're gonna find it from here. Okay, so thank you very much, Rahma. That was very, very good. Okay, we saw the electron flow in this type of photophosphorylation. Ada soalan? Okay, very nice, very good. And now we go to cyclic photophosphorylation. Wow, excited. All right. Okay, since Yap is here, yes, intan proses ini akan berulang selagi sel itu mahu buat fotosintesis. So ada tenaga, ada elektron, dia akan teruskan ulang proses ini berkali-kali. And that's how the plant cell will keep getting ATP. Okay, so for this one, very easily, for cyclic photophosphorylation, it's only going to use photosystem 1. Dia tidak akan gunakan photosystem 2, dia tidak akan gunakan NADP plus reductase dan sebagainya. Untuk cyclic photophosphorylation, dia lebih ringkas, dia akan menghasilkan ATP, dia melibatkan watak-watak ini sahaja, dan dia digelar cyclic sebab dia punya elektron bergerak dalam kitaran yang sama. It's gonna stay among these people and move in a cycle. Very easily, I'm just gonna say it's gonna start here, and then it's gonna go up, and then it's gonna go there, and then it's ATP. Between Yap and Evelyn, who would like Yap lah yang ambil the sticker. Can you take the sticker, Yap? The electron sticker. Okay, very good. So we are going to start telling the story now. Before you move that, I need to bring the photon. Okay, sekarang ada cahaya matahari masuk ke dalam daun. So now we have light energy coming in the form of photon. the photon reach the antenna pigment, it's pass from the antenna pigment until it reaches the reaction center of photosystem 1, which is P700. Now reaction center is activated, electron is excited, and electron is brought to the primary electron acceptor. Go, excited electron, go. Okay, very good. So primary electron acceptor will pass the electron to the electron transport chain, which starts with ferredoxin. Okay, very good. From ferredoxin, it will pass to cytochrome complex. From cytochrome complex, it gets passed to plastocyanin, sorry. Very good. And from plastocyanin, now the electron doesn't have much energy. It's not that excited anymore. So it goes home to the reaction center. Very good. And then when you have the next photon coming in, it excites the reaction center again. The electron is going to move again. So, yep, you can take the electron through the cycle. Yes. And then they jalan. And they go, and they go, and they go. So, every time that electron passes through this electron transport chain, this electron transport chain is going to pump proton into the thylakoid membrane and then adalah ATP synthase akan buat kejarya. Bila kamu buat essay, untuk describe part ini, kamu cuma perlu cakap electron is passed to electron transport chain, chemiosmosis, and synthesis of ATP occurs. Tidak perlu explain panjang sangat. Okay, so just have to take those few keywords. Okay, so like what Yap is doing, as long as there is light energy going into the leaf, going into the chloroplast, this cycle can continue as long as it wants to. Okay, thank you very much, Yap. Okay, so perfect. Sekarang saya tutup lampu, so no more cyclic photophosphorylation. No more light. Okay, it will sit there in the reaction center. Cyclic and non-cyclic, dia akan bergilir. Tapi bila dia cyclic dan bila dia non-cyclic, dia bergantung kepada sel tersebut dan sel itu perlukan banyak ATP kah, sedikit ATP at that moment. Okay, once again, the focus of light-dependent reaction, which is this guy and this guy, is to produce ATP and NADPH. So we have energy for the light-independent reaction. I think that's all I need to say. Very quick summary. We talk about this. We give definition. I ask you to write equation. I ask you two phases in photosynthesis. And then I tell you photophosphorylation is a way to produce ATP. The two types of photosystem. This is what it looks like. In light-dependent reaction, there is non-cyclic photophosphorylation, where the electron moves like this. And we have cyclic photophosphorylation, where the electron moves like this. You can still access this Jamboard anytime you want. So if you want to come back to this file later and you want to play with the sticker, feel free to do that. But I ask that you don't delete any of the images. Okay, kamu boleh gerak-gerak, kamu boleh tulis-tulis, conteng-conteng, tapi tolong jangan delete image-image yang ada di sini lah, supaya tidak mengacau kawan-kawan kamu yang mau tengok balik nanti. Alright, so far any questions about photosynthesis? Any questions at all? Feel free to ask. Ataupun mungkin ada yang sekarang tiada soalan, kamu mau tengok video kah, baca lecture note kah, jawab soalan dulu kah baru kamu mau faham, okay, that's no problem also. But you have a question, you can ask now. Do we need to explain the entire mechanism in exam? Akil tanya dalam chat. It depends on the question. Usually the question will ask you in portion by portion. So kadang-kadang soalan itu akan tanya kamu give an overview of photosynthesis. Kalau overview of photosynthesis, then you need to give definition, maybe give the equation, talk about the phases and the stages, and also products. Bergantung kepada soalan, dia akan tanya overview ataupun dia akan tanya sebahagian daripada apa yang kamu belajar dalam fotosintesis. Kalau dia tanya sebahagian, contoh, what do you mean by asking sebahagian daripada fotosintesis, Miss? Maybe they will ask you to explain light-dependent reaction. Or they might ask you to explain non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Or they ask you to explain cyclic photophosphorylation. Ini kalau soalan dalam bentuk essay. Or maybe they even ask you to compare between cyclic and non-cyclic. Itu contoh soalan-soalan yang mereka boleh tanya. Kalau kamu perlu explain light-dependent reaction ataupun non-cyclic and cyclic, you can follow how I explain in the lecture notes. Guna lebih kurang ayat itu, ataupun kalau kamu tidak dapat ingat ayat dia bulat-bulat, cuba conteng dan dapatkan gambaran pergerakan elektron dalam proses tersebut dan cuba untuk ingat keyword, kemudian explain satu demi satu. When you need to explain some parts, you can make it simple. So the part that you can make it simple is like the electron transport chain. Electron transport chain kita tidak perlu explain yang dia perlu melalui inilah dan itulah dan ATP synthase lah. Tidak perlu banyak panjang sangat. You just say pass through electron transport chain, generate ATP through chemiosmosis. What you should learn is how to use the keywords. Contoh-contoh keyword yang kamu perlu ingat. Antenna pigment, photon, reaction center, activated, excited, electron transport chain, chemiosmosis. Apalagi? Reduced, final electron acceptor. Itu adalah contoh-contoh keyword yang kamu patut ingat untuk jawab soalan-soalan essay untuk macam mana mau explain. More or less the same thing for cyclic photophosphorylation. Excited, photon, antenna pigment, reaction center, electron transport chain. More or less the same thing. If you can have a picture of how the electron flows and you can remember who are the characters, you can get a lot of marks. It's actually quite easy to remember. But mungkin susah dia bahagian mengingat dan menghafal sajalah. So yeah, be kind to yourself, give yourself time to digest and to remember. Does that answer your question, Akil? Do you need to explain, your question is, do you need to explain the entire mechanism in exam? Depends on the question. Usually the question likes to focus like this. Okay, wonderful, thank you. Any other questions? Or do you have questions that are not about photosynthesis? Like, when will the economy improve? I don't have the answer to that, but you can ask it anyway. Okay, so enough questions about photosynthesis. Very good. I like your participation today. Some of you may be tired, some of you may be sick, some of you may be sitting for your SPM retake or something. So I can understand why some people are not here. Do you have any questions about something other than biology? O bagi yang saya tolong photostat tutorial and stuff tu, mungkin petang ini saya akan hantar pergi blog bagi yang ada PM. For those of you who are taking time to pay back, don't worry. It's chill. Not in a rush to pay the fees juga. Kalau yang sudah bayar, thank you very much. I keep getting the transfers time to time, so that's good. Thank you. When is our UPS 2? Good question, Lim. Let me check the takwim. Let's see, man's asking the real questions around here. Takwim updated. Hold on, I need to find the takwim first. It should be your UPS 2 should be in week 12. So week 12 on the Thursday is 31st of March. 31st of March 2022 is your date for UPS 2. It will be in the afternoon as well, like last time, 4:30 p.m. UPS 2 should be chapter 456, if I'm not mistaken. So this week and next week, we will be learning about photosynthesis. Next week, we will also start a little bit for chapter 7. Jadi, 1.5 minggu lah untuk chapter ini. Yes, UPS 2 is going to be that date. So trial UPS 2 will be the week before on 24th. Also Thursday. You guys should also be able to access your results for semester 1 PSPM. And I haven't checked your results. Some of you have PM me, and congratulations for those of you who got good results. If you're not happy with your results for bio, let's do better for this semester. Of course, if you want to do better, try to make sure that you get good scores for your UPS and also your lab test. Okay, so Lim tanya lagi dalam chat, is it online or physical for UPS 2? It's going to be online. It's going to be in the form of Google Form again. Very good questions. Any more questions? It is once again, it is very likely that next week we will have hybrid classes. That means I get to see half of your face. The other half will be covered by a mask. So yeah, very likely I get to see you next week. And we could have labs sessions soon once the biology lecturers can agree that it's safe to go. UPS 3 will be in week 15. Week 15. UPS 3 will be on the 21st of April. UPS 3. 21st April 2022. Also Thursday. Bio things are mostly on Thursday. But like, so trial will be 1 week before. UPS 3 should be I don't remember if it's 8, 9, 10 or chapter 8 and 9 only. Macam the chapter 8 and 9 only. I'll double confirm later lah. Any more questions? If you need any help for something other than biology, for example, ada barang keperluan yang betul diperlukan. Bukan yang suka-suka seperti MACD, itu saya tidak akan tolong hantar. But if there's something you really need from the outside world, do PM me to see what we can do about it. No more problems, no more questions. If we're going to have hybrid class, how about experiment? Experiment will be in person when we have hybrid class. As usual, I will come up with a plan for the week, beginning of the week. So hari Minggu tuh saya akan confirm lah apa yang kita akan buat untuk minggu hadapan. Including what classes will be face-to-face. Most likely, we will have the experiment face-to-face. Any more questions? That question was from Yap in the chat. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I will end this class here. Thank you very much, everybody, for your time and your attention. I hope this has been helpful for you. Please feel free to come back to this Jamboard anytime you wish. Don't destroy it too much, please. Thank you. And I will see you again for Google Meet on Friday, where we will go through the light independent reactions. Make sure between today and Friday, you really watch all the videos from 6.1 to 6.4. Kalau 6.1 and 6.2 pun kamu tidak tengok, susah lah macakap. So, itu ada dua video yang paling-paling pendek. Ya, 6.3, 6.4, kamu ambil masa untuk digest perlahan-lahan. Okay, and then on Thursday, we will have a bit of time to review the experiment for chromatography. Nanti hari Kamis tu kita tidak buat Google Meet lah, saya bagi tugasan melalui Telegram saja. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Once again, thank you very much for your time and your attention, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome back to Camp Hell for those of you who went back for holidays. I stopped recording. Bye-bye.